In this overview, we once again have two lesser scopes to discuss, rather than just one. The individual in the Kennemer area continued to be present throughout the week, delighting local birders with its presence. Meanwhile, another bird was observed in Flevoland, marking a significant reappearance. This bird is almost certainly the same individual that was observed further south in September. This week also brought news of the ringneck ducks, with sightings from two separate locations. Both the bird from Vogelmeer and the one in Herugewaard were reported once again. While these reports lack the thrill of a new discovery, they still highlight the enduring appeal of these rare visitors. In North Brabant, the American wigeon made a notable comeback after a puzzling absence of 5 days. The reason behind this gap in reports remains a mystery. Perhaps the bird ventured to a less frequented area, or perhaps the sighting simply went unrecorded. In any case, its reappearance brought relief to those following its movements. Time will tell whether this individual will choose to stay for the entire winter, offering more opportunities for observation. In Zeeland, the seasonal return of great northern divers was confirmed this week. Two of these striking birds were observed on the Haring fleet, with an additional two seen near the Brouwersdam. These arrivals signal the beginning of the wintering period for this species, and birders will no doubt keep a close watch as numbers potentially increase in the coming weeks. Corn buntings have also begun to reappear at their typical wintering sites. Reports came in from Limburg and Groningen, regions that have long been associated with the species during the colder months. These subtle yet charming birds are a favorite among winter birders, and their presence adds a touch of excitement to familiar landscapes. Richard's pipits were reported from 3 separate locations. One was observed near the Veerse Meer, where at least one bird has wintered for 2 consecutive years, showcasing a remarkable pattern of site fidelity. This is actually the sole Richard's pipit that I have ever filmed in the Netherlands so far, when I was on a mission to add greater spotted eagle to my Dutch list. Another individual was observed repeatedly near the Eemmeer, and a third was observed at the Hansbosse Zeewering, where it was seen on 2 distinct occasions. These large pipits with their characteristic calls never fail to capture attention. On the 13th, news broke that the hoopoe on Ameland was still present. This stunning bird, with its vibrant plumage and unique crest, was reported until the 16th, raising hopes that it might stay even longer. It will be interesting to see how well it adapts to the challenging conditions of late autumn and early winter in this region. Remarkably, 2 additional hoopoes were also photographed this week, one in Utrecht and one in Groningen. Such observations emphasize the scattered yet persistent presence of this remarkable species. The pectoral sandpiper from the bulb fields continued to be observed until the 12th, drawing birders eager to catch a glimpse before its likely departure. Meanwhile, the Rosy starling in Den Burg maintained its presence throughout the week. While the frequency of sightings seems to be tapering off slightly, it was still reported a remarkable 25 times. This bird has become somewhat of a local celebrity, and its continued presence has brightened the week for many bird enthusiasts. Yellow-browed warblers remained a prominent feature of the week, with birds observed at over 10 different locations across the country. Most reports were accompanied by excellent photos or clear sound recordings, adding a layer of documentation that enhances the overall record. The bird observed at Kornweide was reported most frequently, likely due to its proximity to an even rarer discovery, a dusky warbler. This unexpected find, made on the morning of the last day of the week, added a thrilling twist to the narrative. This site, which hosted a Hume's leaf warbler last year, has once again proven to be a hotspot for rare Philoscopus warblers. The dusky warbler remains one of the highlights of the week, and its potential to overwinter in the region offers exciting possibilities for future encounters and documentation. Speaking of Philoscopus warblers, there were several reports of Siberian chiffchaffs scattered across the country. While some sightings lacked concrete evidence or descriptions, others were accompanied by clear sound recordings or high-quality photographs, lending credibility to the observations. The first was a bird recorded at Maashorst, though there have been some doubts about the reliability of recordings from this observer. Rumors suggest that extensive editing of single calls may have led to misleading conclusions in the past. While the call itself sounded convincing, the bird was neither seen nor reported again. Another Hume leaf warbler was photographed in Groningen, while the third was found on Schiermonnikoog. Unfortunately, the latter report lacked conclusive proof as priority had to be given to a water bird count. A surprising observation this week came in the form of a single waxwing in Limburg. This year has been notably poor for waxwings, making this interior sighting all the more remarkable. However, the lack of additional details raises questions. Could it be a misreport from a previous year? With no further information, the mystery remains unsolved. Meanwhile, hopes for an influx of pine grosbeaks have all but faded, with no signs of these stunning birds appearing this year. The desert wheatear, a standout rarity, continued to be observed on Wieringen until Monday. Witnesses reported an intriguing behavior. This small songbird was occasionally seen flying just above the water's surface, tapping its feet on the water in what appeared to be an unusual display. Such behavior is rarely documented and adds a layer of fascination to this already captivating bird. Turning to international news, Sweden celebrated the discovery of its first ever red-eyed vireo, an astonishingly late date for this American species. In Germany, the sandhill crane remained tantalizingly close to the Dutch border, with its Sunday sighting being the closest yet. However, it ultimately returned to its usual roost site by evening, keeping the suspense alive. Also still present in Germany was the northern mockingbird, a species that attracted Dutch birders eager to combine the sightings with those of the crane. Remarkably, some managed to see both birds in a single day, despite the nearly 4-hour drive between them, although that time is based on the Dutch speed limits. Denmark also reported some exciting observations. These included a few passing pine grosbeaks at migration posts, the long-staying steppe eagle, which was, to my knowledge, first seen in February of this year, a ring-necked duck, a lassie yellowlegs, and a red-tailed shrike missing its tail. The story behind the tail's loss remains unclear to me, but the bird continues to attract attention. Finally, the scarlet tanager in Great Britain was last observed on Wednesday. Does this mark the end of its remarkable stay? Rumor has it that a 90-year-old resident has seen this bird in the area as early as September. This was it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll see you all next week.